Are you thinking about buying a home in Washington, D.C., or even investment property in the district? This is the right place to come. Each month for the last 10 years, I've done this report on the 22 zip codes in Washington, D.C. And this is information you will not find anywhere else. My name is Tobin Seven. I'm a principal real estate broker licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and I created this report. So let's take a look at the numbers. Now let's take a look at the Washington, D.C. housing market. It always takes a while to get all the housing information data. So this report is for the month of January, which is January 2024, which is the most current data anyone has. As a principal broker, I have access to all of the real estate data, and I also pay for extra programs. So this is information you will not find anywhere else. I do this each month. I've done it each month for the last 10 years, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Again, my name is Tobin Seven, and let's take a look at this report. One thing I've noticed, and I've been doing this report, as I said, for a long time. Maybe you notice the white hair here. I have never seen such a dramatic increase in the prices in the district. They went up 10.5%. Every month for the last few years, we've been seeing an annual decline of 3%, 4%, 5%, 7%. At one point, it would have to stop, I guess. So this is a huge wake-up call for those people who are waiting for prices to keep going down. You never know what the lowest point is to buy, or even interest rates, until you've gone forward in the future. So this report is pretty startling. If we take a look at the median price of a home, and I like the word median because that's much more accurate than average. Median is an equal distance between the high and the low. Right now, a median price of a home in the district is $602,500. 12 months ago, that very same home would have been $545,000. That's almost $58,000 annual increase. And just to put it in perspective, if you divide that by 12 months, because this is what it was 12 months ago and what it is now, that works out to almost $4,800 more a month you'd have to pay for exactly the same home you saw 12 months ago in the district and now. And that's where you get the 10.5% annual increase. Wow. Northern Virginia's not seeing that type of increases. Maryland certainly isn't. Right now it's a good time to be a seller. And if you're thinking about buying, I'd buy now. Now, I don't know if this is true. This is the last Super Bowl, but was it possible that the discussion was about the coach saying he's going to wait to list his home in the spring, which is still a few weeks away, and deal with all that extra competition? Really? Who knows? That's my version of what happened. All right, all jokes aside. One of the things we're seeing in the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, because I cover all three, I count DC as a state, all three states, is low inventory. And this graph really shows it pretty well. 10.4 million down to 3 million. And there's more people in the city. So this really shows a challenge that we're seeing. And this is true everywhere. And I'm hearing stories about the rest of the country also, outside the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. Now, one thing people, and I even had some clients call me last week. They said, "Hey, Tobin, we'd like to pick up a bargain in the district, a foreclosure." And I said, there aren't hardly any foreclosures. Unlike 2008 and 2009, those years where we saw the housing bubble and a lot of foreclosures, what the banks and mortgage companies are doing is they're buying the distressed properties back and they're selling them themselves. But the underlying thing is they're not having to do it as much as they did back in 2008, 2009. This graph really shows why we're not seeing many foreclosures. The lending regulations were pretty soft up there. In fact, I was a realtor back then, And I know some lenders were given what they call stated income loans. And what that is you simply write on a piece of paper, I make $300,000 a year, sign it, no verification. So it was so much easier than it is now. So lending rules have gotten tighter for good reason. And this graph really shows the magnitude of the tightening. So where it is now compared to what it was before. This is why we're not seeing many foreclosures or many properties for sale. REO is one of the things you may hear about. That's the bank that owns real estate property. So if you're hoping to get a great deal out of foreclosure, there just aren't hardly any at all. This really points out why we're not seeing many homes for sale. And this is Fortune magazine. It was a few months ago. 98% is now actually 94%. But I have a lot of clients who have mortgages less than 3%. In fact, 26% of all the people, all the homeowners in the DMV who have home loans, and almost all of them are fixed rate 30 years, 26% are less than 3%. And if you go 3% up to 5%, that's 46% of the market. So 3/4 of the market has less than a 5% interest rate. If you have an interest rate on a loan that low, and right now interest rates are in the 7s, and you know, my name is 7. It's not necessarily a good thing though for a mortgage rate, but we're seeing homeowners looking and saying, all right, let's say I'm going to downsize because I'm older and can get a smaller home, so they're going to sell their home. Well, their interest rate is less than 3%. They go to buy, and they may be paying 2 to 2.5 to triple what the mortgage that they're paying now. They could very well be having a higher mortgage payment because interest rates are higher than when they bought their home years ago. That's why there's a lot of reluctance on the part of homeowners to put their homes for sale, and it's going to continue to be that way for some time. All right, before we go to this next slide, might want to consider subscribing to this YouTube website. I do at least two real estate videos each week. This way you'll be sure to get the videos, and that would be very helpful if you would subscribe. And you won't miss the information. All right, let's take a look at Washington, D.C. Now, these are dials arranged like an automobile dash. That's why I like them so much. So the one we're going to look at here is active listings. And the thing that is really helpful here is the 5-year average. And that is this gold. Or yellow? I'd say it's gold. We're almost double compared to what the 5-year average is. So what this is telling me, what the marketplace is doing, is a lot more homes are going on the market. However, because there are so many people who want to buy and there haven't been many homes on the market the last 3 years, this additional listings are being snapped right up. So normally you'd see in a normal market, you'd say, oh my gosh, prices are going to go down. But just the opposite. The demand is so much higher than the listings that the prices went up 10.5%. I mean, you can't get that in a bank, in mutual market. You can't get that in savings bonds. Real estate really is a good investment. Here is a great chart, and let me get my head out of the way. I can think of a joke about that. Anyway, all right, so we were talking about median price. It's 10.5% year over year, and 602,500 is the median price of a home today. All right, one thing that's really helpful if you're looking to buy or sell, median price per square foot is 507. So why is that important to you? If you're looking to buy and you know the square footage of the home you're looking at, multiply the square footage times 507 and see if you come up with the sale price. Conversely, if you're listing a home and you've got the square footage, that would be a quick back of the envelope way to price your home. And another thing here is the median days on market is 43. That's gone up just a little bit. But in the district, one of the things that's unusual about the district is almost everything there is old. All the buildings are old. Heck, even the politicians are old. And so I'm an Army veteran, and I work with a lot of military clients. It's hard to get a VA loan accepted in the district because one of the requirements the VA has, you can't have any impediment on a window to allow a service member to escape if there's a fire. And a lot of these buildings in DC have ironworks that's cemented into the side of the building. All right, another slide that's very interesting because I like looking at historical, because the historical statistics, much like baseball, it's very repeatable. We'll show you where we're at. So last year is very similar to this year, and we're seeing about the same. In fact, I drew this line here, it's a horizontal line, much less than past years. So there aren't as many sales going on as occurred in 2021 or even as far back as 2020. And the projection is that 2024 is going to be pretty close to 2023. So what this means is there's going to be very small inventory in the district. Homes are going to sell for at list price or higher. A lot of times, and I hate doing this, but I'm having to do this now with my clients, waive the home inspection. And we're talking about homes that are actually older than me. A few days ago, I was with some clients, and we were looking at a home that was built in 1911. Another home built in 1939. That's even before World War II. And it's so competitive, it had only gone on the market 45 minutes before. So I immediately called the listing realtor and said, hey, I want to get in to see the place with my clients. They're investors. And we got in there within an hour and a half. And when I was talking to the listing realtor, he said that 3 other investors had called him before I called, and I called 45 minutes after it went live. It is a crazy market. So if you find something you want, I wouldn't wait. One of the most valuable things that I have here, I'm only showing the first 7. Why 7? Because my name's 7. 21 of the potential 22 zip codes and communities reported in DC for this period of time. It's hard to believe there's 22 zip codes in district. However, a lot of the federal buildings have their own dedicated zip code. But nevertheless, if you want to get the full report, there is no cost for it. There's information at the end. Email me, call me, text me. I'll be happy to include you on this report. And the way it's presented is you've got the zip code and the community. So January is the most current information we have. January to January of last year, that creates the median percent change. And I highlight in red anything that's 30% higher or lower. So it's a quick way to take a look. And you can take a look at the median values. I mean, it's just crazy. Percent change in median. I mean, so the district market has been low for so long, whatever you're buying is a bargain. But if it continues at this fast increase, you're going to be seeing the same challenges we have in Virginia and also in Maryland, which make up the rest of the DMV. One thing that may be of interest to you is I give 25% of my commission at settlement, whether you're buying or selling, to you, and this is real money to you. So if you're interested, again, I'm a principal broker. I'm on a brokerage. That's why I can do the commission credit back to you. And I am an Army veteran. Sorry for those people out there who might be Marines or Navy. I've been in this business a long, long time. Principal broker for the last 6 years. Here is my cell number, email, my first name at soldby7.com, and the website is www.soldby7.com. Again, you might want to consider subscribing. I'm doing at least 2 of these a week, and it's a great interest if you're in the DMV or even in the nation, because I talk also about national. Look forward to talking to you. Thank you.